Okay, and I'm live. I've been saying I said it a few videos ago. Said I would do this for a while, and I decided to just say, "Fuck it, make it a live stream." Slightly easier. You just have to click done, and then it immediately uploads. I don't gotta record it, click a bunch of other things, and then to wait for it to load. I just make it a live stream would be easier, and I don't have to keep track of the time. I can talk in a live stream for a long time. even if no one even if no one watches it, it's just get uploaded and people can watch it later. I remember the last live stream, one guy tuned in, and then as soon as I called him out, he tuned out. After I uploaded that, I realized I shouldn't have insulted him because he can go back and rewatch the uploaded version. No offense, guy. I was just did 2 live streams beforehand and got no views, and you're the first person I got. So I was a little upset. I'm sorry, my bad. If you come back again, I'm not repeating myself. I'm just gonna wait for you to watch the uploaded version. Just realized bad thing about a live stream is if I have to go to the bathroom, I can't edit this out. Then again, I couldn't do that before because I'm not good at editing. I tried to practice, but well. The reason I bring that up is still 0 people. Right as I do a live stream, my reaction to Rise of TMNT Leonardo Johnson 3, I'll have to watch that later. I can do a reaction to a reaction, but I don't do reaction videos no more since I already explained this in the past. I'm not going to explain it again. This is not what this is about. This is about Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, so start at the beginning. I actually have the original Sonic somewhere around here, an actual Genesis cartridge. I used to have a Genesis, but we had to sell it because we needed money, and we sold almost all my games except for Sonic 1. Because I kept it in the box and not just out, I guess Robert didn't find it. I don't know how. I don't know how they didn't notice. Maybe they're I don't know. They just didn't notice it. So even though I didn't have anything to play it on anymore, I still have my original copy of Sonic 1. My copy of Sonic 3 that took me forever to find a copy of it, it died, so that's sad. So I still have my original Sonic 1 copy from when I first got the Genesis. But Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles, those are new ones. We sold the other ones. And I bought another Sonic 3, and it didn't work. So we took it back, and maybe I'll find one online later on. It's not a real Genesis. It's one of those hook up to your TV games, things that have built-in games in them. But it also can play actual cartridges, which is cool. I don't think it works the same as an actual Genesis though, because I've played an actual Genesis and I've seen videos. I know how it's supposed to sound. I don't think that thing sounds the same. I thought it was just the built-in games. It didn't sound okay. So first I thought my TV wasn't right, so I got a different TV to hook it up to and see if it sounded right. It still didn't sound right. So then I thought, well, maybe it's the game's built in. Maybe the cartridge would sound better. Nope, I plugged the cartridge in there and it still sounded off. The music sounded not right. So I'm guessing it's just the thing itself. Since it's not a real Genesis, it can't sound exactly like a Genesis, which is unfortunate. But hey, at least I can still play the games. And if I really want to listen to the Sonic soundtrack, I'll just look them up on YouTube. Yeah. Should have gone before I started the live stream. What was I thinking? Be right back. Definitely. I keep expecting someone to tune in while I'm in the bathroom. Well, that's not going to happen again. I'm done. I got everything out. Too much information. Anyway, okay, so enough with what's going on with my holding of an actual Sonic game and having an actual copy. Now it's on to Sonic himself and the history and shit. Let's see, Sonic, I don't know where to begin. Well, I know where to begin, but I don't know where to go from it. Sure, with a movie series, I'll just cover all the sequels. With a big franchise like Turtles, I'll start with the comics and go all the shows. Sonic, there's the main series of games, there's the spin-off games, there's the comics, there's all the shows. Oh my god. I guess I'll stick to the main series and I'll cover spin-off games after I cover the main series. It gets confusing because the main series splits up into two different continuities, two different worlds, as we see in Sonic and we see in Sonic Forces and Sonic Generations, even though in that game it says it's the past Sonic, not a Sonic from another dimension. Retconning, but whatever. The Japanese continuity, they're all one and the same. At least at least that's how it was. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about the Japanese version of Forces. Maybe they changed the dialogue to say you're that Sonic from the past or something like that. But here in the American version, they clearly say he's from another dimension. So who knows? Maybe by other dimension they mean an alternate timeline. Oh boy, Sonic and its alternate timelines. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff to go over with that, but I'm not going to get too out of control here. God, Sonic franchise is not the best with keeping its continuity and keeping things simple. First, it keeps things too complicated, then too simple. God. Well, anyway, starting with the first game. Let's go into the history. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this already, but if you clicked on a video talking about Sonic, I'm guessing you either just need a refresher or you don't know and it's your first time knowing about it. Well, here's where we begin. So, for the past several years, I could go way further back, but no, we'll be here for a while. This is talking about Sonic, not video games and history in general. We're just talking about Sonic. So, for the past few years, Nintendo had ruled everything gaming. Atari was the guy beforehand, but after the video game crash, Nintendo rose from the ashes and made video games awesome again. And they had their several mascots, but their main mascot was Mario Jumpman Mario. Man, those were some good games. I never could beat the first Mario game, probably because I didn't try hard enough or I didn't have enough time. Either one, I never beat it, and we sold my Nintendo and shit, so I can't play anymore. Again, getting sidetracked. I need to talk about the character and the stuff, not about my life. Okay, so I'm getting on with it. God, it's stream's going on 9 minutes already. I've barely talked about Sonic. So Nintendo was on top. They were the king. No one could beat them. They were unstoppable. They were like Jason Voorhees or Jason Bourne or Chuck Norris. They were unstoppable. But came another company, known simply as Sega. They saw what Nintendo was doing and thought, so Nintendo took down Atari, we can take down Nintendo. They tried and they got close, but no cigar. So they had their Master System, which is pretty much their NES. And before Sonic came along, their mascot was Alex Kidd, which his games were probably good, but him as a character, no, nowhere near as memorable or as likable as Sonic. Oh. So he wasn't doing it for them. He wasn't getting them popular. Mario was Nintendo. So they had to do something, and they decided to make a new mascot. Designs ranged from a Theodore Roosevelt knockoff in pajamas, which would later become Eggman. They decided not to use that because man with mustache, that's too similar to Mario. They went through several different character designs. Puppy dog, I think a cat at one point, rabbit, until eventually it came down to an armadillo and a hedgehog. Sonic one, the hedgehog one. It was the spines, they look cooler. But the armadillo design would later become Mighty the Armadillo, who was originally had his sidekick Ray the Flying Squirrel in Sega Sonic the arcade game, and then would later become a member of the Chaotix team in Knuckles Chaotix, and then would suddenly go absent for many years, and fans would make up jokes about it, be like, "Oh, he's off getting drunk in a bar or something, or he's something." Till eventually they finally brought him back in Sonic Mania Plus. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. This is so good. He's finally back. Now we need several other characters that need to come back. But anyway, so they colored him blue to match the Sega logo, colored his shoes red because Santa Claus. I don't. I need to relook up how they decided to do this. Oh, and they wanted to make it the most kid-friendly character ever, so they decided to make his shoes red like Santa or something like that. He's got the personality of Bill Clinton. Not exactly, slightly tweaked, but baseline personality of Bill Clinton. I could do a joke here, but it's in poor taste, so I'm not going to. So, and Michael Jackson. Oh, yeah, Santa Claus and Michael Jackson. Got the shoes of Michael Jackson, they said, with the color red for Santa. Okay, enough of that. Let's just get on. That's how he was made. Let's get on to the game. So, the first Sonic game. So, as we all know, Sonic is known for being the fastest thing alive. Sorry, that was cringy. Moving on. He's known for that. And that's how they promoted the first game. So, you think that since that's what Sonic's all about, you think the whole game would just be fast, fast, fast? No, actually. Only about 2 to 3 levels are really fast paced. So, yeah, it's like half the game is Sonic, and the other half is any other platformer. So let me go over the zones. We had Green Hill Zone, fast paced. It's a good first level. It looked pretty. The enemy placement wasn't too dickish. It had a lot of loop de loops and a lot of long patches where you can just build up speed. I like where you go loop de loop through here and then go way up in the air. I like that part. You collect a bunch of rings. When you collect 50 rings and get to the end of the level without losing them, you get a giant ring to collect a Chaos Emerald. Which in this game, there's only 6 of them, and they don't really do anything except change the ending slightly. And I'll get into the emeralds later because there's been debates and theories all over about the emeralds. I'm going to say in the classic universe, there's multiple sets of emeralds. That's why they look slightly different and vary in color from game to game. While in the modern Sonic world, there's only one set of emeralds. That's just my theory. But yeah, I think the Sonic 1 emeralds, either the 7th emerald's not there in that game, or the original game's emeralds only have 6. But I'm going to say there is 7 because the mobile, I'll talk about that later. Whatever. So, Green Hill Zone. It's a good first level. It's fast paced. It's fun, especially when you get a chain of enemies you can bounce off. There's so many different routes you can take. You can decide to go one way. You can just zoom real fast through the level, like zoom, and not just worry about nothing else. Or you could stop and explore. There's multiple different ways you could get to the end. That's something that was fantastic about earlier Sonic games, and a lot of later Sonic games were missing that, and it made them less great because of it. But oh well. Some games they kept it in, some games they brought it back. I don't know. They need to keep that because it was whatever. If you watch Some Call Me Johnny, you know what I'm talking about. He explains it much better. But yeah, then the second level, Marvel Zone. Sorry, heard my mom. Marble Zone. Oh boy. Immediately kill that fast pace and good vibes you get from the first level zone. They're called zones here. In Mario, they're called worlds. A lot of other games, they're called levels or stages or whatever. Marble Zone is the most. Oh no, I don't even know. It's tied neck and neck with Labyrinth Zone, but they say Marble Zone sucks because you go fast in the first level. This level, slow and monotonous. You go too fast, you run into lava, dead. You run into an enemy, dead. You got to take your time like any other game. If you're a fan of Sonic and you played a lot of Sonic games, you play a Sonic game because you want to go fast. You got to go fast. But man, this is before they truly established that. Although they did promote the game saying you can go fast, but whatever. People hate Marvel Zones, especially Sonic fans. It's like Green Hill Zone is nice and fun, and then Marvel Zone is a brick wall, and you just ran right into it. Oh yeah, it's Spring Yard Zone. Now this is a decent level. It has its fast moments, but then it has its slow, monotonous moments like Marvel Zone. It's a good mix of the two levels. It's a good one. It has the fast moments that you enjoy, and like the other zones, multiple pathways. So you can decide to take a route that's a little bit of both, a route that's more fast, or a route that's more slow. Why would you want to take that? I don't know. God bless you. Then we have Labyrinth Zone. Terrible. It's just, uh, God bless you. Uh, anyway, like I was saying, Labyrinth Zone is just terrible. It's an underwater level, which those already suck normally in games in general. They suck. So the fact that God, where do I begin? Do I need to say anything? If you know about water levels in video games, I shouldn't have to. Sorry for that. Say anything. Yeah, hold on. Moving on. So then we have Starlight Zone. Back to the fully fast pacedness of the first zone, except more bottomless pits, so be careful. Other than that, it's like the first zone again. You can go fast and you don't gotta worry about shit. It's what the whole game should have been in most people's opinion. Sonic 1's still a good game. It's just that it's a good game in general, but oh hey, someone's watching. Anyway, like a yo, talking about Sonic here. I'm gonna say hi in the chat. Okay, so like I was saying, hey, you weren't here at the beginning, so when this gets uploaded, just watch it from there. I'm not gonna start over because I talked about a lot of stuff. So yeah, Starlight Zone, the second best level in the game. Then there was Scrap Brain Zone, and good luck trying to keep a ring in that zone. I managed to do it once, and I don't know how. Bit nervous, a little bit. You're the first person here and first person to watch one of my streams. I'm not gonna act nervous. Not gonna act nervous. Be casual, like I was doing before. So yeah, Scrap Brain Zone. It's hard. Some people like it, some people hate it. Just if you manage to get through it, then we have the final zone, which some people say is Act 4 of Scrap Brain Zone, and some people say it's its own zone, not entirely. It's called Final Zone, not Scrap Brain Zone Act 4, so I'm just going to say it's its own zone. It's the final boss of the game, and it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. So after you beat them, depending on if you get all the emeralds, Sonic will either run through the field and stop and then jump to the camera, or stop in the field and let all the emeralds scatter. Why? I don't know. Just does. So yeah, that's the first game. The second game. Okay, so now we go. Now I'm going to go over the history of the second game. So the two creators of Sonic 1, I don't remember their names because they're Japanese and I can barely remember Japanese names. So one creator had one idea for what Sonic 2 should be, and the one had another. So they kind of split off and made their own games. While Sonic 2 was being made in America by whatever his name was, the original creator of Sonic, the main creator of Sonic 1, started making Sonic CD over in Japan. So it's kind of like we have two Sonic 2s. Here's something I noticed. In every Sonic game, so Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles and Sonic Mania all have a different sprite. But is it just me, or the Sonic CD sprite is the same sprite from Sonic 1? That might just be me, but I think that's hinting that it's a direct sequel. Or you could say Sonic CD takes place between Sonic 1 and 2, or you could say Sonic CD is an alternate timeline. Like I said earlier in the stream, which you weren't here for. Let's see if I got another person. Nope, no one else. Okay. So like I was saying, I said this earlier that it gets confusing with all these timelines and shit. So I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just going to say Sonic CD is a thing. Right now we're talking about Sonic 2 because that came first. It was released November 24th on a Tuesday, so the fans dubbed it Sonic Tuesday. Cringy, well, and it was surprisingly, it was actually not the game to introduce Tails. Oh crap, I accidentally skipped over some games. I was thinking the original. Never mind. I said earlier in the stream I wouldn't cover too many side games because there's just too many of them, and I forgot to cover two important ones. The 8-bit Sonic games. I ain't got time to go back, so I'm just gonna say they were a thing. But Tails first appeared in 8-bit Sonic 2 because 8-bit Sonic 2 surprisingly came out a month before the 16-bit Sonic 2. Fun fact. So yeah, so this is technically the second debut, but this is where most people know him from. So in this game, we see Tails can fly when you run ahead of him and he flies back. But when you're actually playing him, you can't fly. That's some bullshit. And this is the game that introduces the spin dash. Now on to more story elements of, behind the scenes stuff. Tails actually invented the spin dash. You think it would be Sonic because hedgehogs roll up into balls in real life. You wouldn't think a fox would be able to do that, but whatever. Foxes also can't move their tails like helicopter blades, so don't even try. And also, hedgehogs can't move faster than the speed of sound. So don't even try to bring realism. So I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah, Tails invented it. And also, back in the day, Tails didn't have a confirmed gender. You could picture him as a boy or a girl. But then later games firmly established that he was a boy. So now that song at the end of Sonic 2 in the credits kind of makes Sonic and Tails seem gay. Moving on. Now it's the same story from the first one, except now you have Tails with you. So Eggman, or at the time Robotnik, which that's something I forgot to mention. Over in Japan, his name was always Eggman. Then here in America, we thought Eggman was too silly, so we named him Robotnik instead. And then eventually in the Japanese games, they established that his real name is Robotnik and Eggman's just a nickname. So something we Americans came up with in our own version of the story became canon in the original version. Wrap your mind around that. So anyway, Eggman is trying to take over again. Sonic's got to stop him again. Same diff, same hoo-ha, whatever. The only difference now is Tails with you. So now we have 2 acts per zone instead of 3. Sorry about this. You gotta spit. Anyway, you now have 2 acts instead of 3, which some people prefer that. I have no opinion. I don't care how many acts there are, as long as it's not like 10 acts. That's too many. Luckily, no game has ever done that. But yeah, so Emerald Hill is pretty much just a different Green Hill. That's that's all it is. It's a good zone, it's a good level, but it's it's just a slightly redesigned Green Hill. So yeah, it's a good level. Now, crap, what was the name of the second level? Come on, they used it in a few other games. How could I forget? Oh, no, not Aquatic. Chemical Plant. Why did I forget that? Chemical Plant. So yeah, Chemical Plant is the next one. And unlike Labyrinth Zone or Marble Zone, this level actually is kind of fast. Yeah, a lot more fast levels in this game. They took notes from what people said about the first one. So yeah, it's a good level. So you just zoom through, blah blah, and then towards the end of the second act, there's a bit of an underwater part, but this is not the underwater level of the game. That's the next one. We're talking about this one. Oh, I haven't been going over the bosses of the first. Yeah, it's too late to start now. So I just said everything I have to say. Oh crap! I forgot to mention how the special stages work. Damn it. Okay, yeah, you were right. I am a little nervous. You still here? Yeah, you said you're still here. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Okay, you stop being nervous. So here's how the special stages work in the second game. Instead of getting 50 rings and going to the end, you have to get 50 rings and make it to a checkpoint. And little sparkles appear and you jump into them. And the special stages in the second game are harder than the first game. In my actual copy of Sonic 2 on Genesis, the actual cartridge, I have never been able to get the emeralds. But when I had it on phone, I was able to do it. I don't know, maybe being able to see it closer made me be able to, I don't know, but I was able to do it on phone. So anyway, then we have Aquatic Ruin, the underwater zone of the game. But unlike most other games, and unlike Labyrinth Zone, if you know the right route and path to take, you can actually avoid it and never touch the water. Good job, Sonic Team. Good job. Proud of you. Then we have Casino Night Zone, where we. This is where something that will recur later in Sonic games. This is where it's established. Compulsive gambling. And I swear, when I play this zone on cartridge or on phone, I would just keep jumping in that over and over again, trying to get a lot of rings. And when I get a lot of rings and then go for one more and then get three Eggmans, I die a little on the inside. But yeah, it's a good zone. It's not the fastest because it's a lot of bouncing around on shit and you gotta, but it's a good zone. Next is Hilltop Zone. This zone, it's like a slow green hill. Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's blue Emerald Hill with a lot of pitfalls to your death and a lot of stuff where you just gotta wait on like a thing that lowers you down. So yeah, a lot of people might not like this one. Then we have Mystic Cave. Now this one, some people like, some people hate. It's pretty fast paced, but there is some obstacles that you gotta watch out for. Pits, of course, and these doors that crush you, and these fireflies that when they glow, you can't hit them at all. They hit you. This is where the pit comes. If you know about Sonic 2 and you know a lot about Sonic in general, you know about the pit. Oh, the infamous pit. Game developers who made that probably had a good laugh. They probably laughed their ass off. It's a pit that's too deep to jump out of, even as supersonic. And it's there's no so if you have a supersonic, then it's you just gotta wait for supersonic to run out. So you're just gonna be stuck there a while. It's a freaking ass move. Luckily, in the phone version of it, they changed the pit. So now instead of just being a dick move, it actually leads you to a secret zone. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it was a thing. I just realized there's so many Sonic games. This live stream might go on for an hour or two, maybe three. Nah. Oh well. Maybe I'll make this two live streams if this goes on too long. Maybe we'll split it up between classic and modern. Oh, whatever. So then next is Oil Ocean Zone. How is there just an ocean of oil? I don't know. Ask Mobius. I mean Earth. Damn multiple continuities. It's confusing. But anyway, so it's it has its fast pacedness, but there is some slow parts. But mainly it's fast paced. But be careful. It's fucking seahorses, man. Hate those bastards. The octopuses aren't as bad, but they've gotten me a few times too. Assholes. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But what I didn't enjoy was taking a wrong path, thinking it led somewhere, and then it just led me down into the oil, and I couldn't jump out. Sinking down into that oil is. Mm. Next is Metropolis Zone, which is the only zone that contains 3 acts in the second game. Boy, does everyone hate this zone because it's long and it's not fast at all. Maybe 1 or 2 parts in the middle of each zone, but other than that, it's slow and monotonous, easy to get lost in, and oh my god, the enemies here. The 3 worst enemies in Sonic history, or at least Sonic 2 history. Oh, well, thank you for subbing. Anyway, the three. Okay, so the 3 worst enemies in Sonic 2 history: Asterons, Shellcrackers, and Slicers. So if you know Johnny from Some Call Me Johnny, his those are his arch enemies, and I have to agree with them. I hate those fuckers. They would always get me on my actual cartridge, and they would always get me on my phone. I hated Slicers. Shellcrackers were bad too, but sometimes I was able to avoid them. And Asterons, if you know what to do, you can avoid them. Sometimes Tails would fuck you over and activate one by accident. Fucking Tails. But oh boy, fucking Slicers. If you thought Scrap Brain Zone was hard with you losing all your rings and shit, wait until you see this. You are not going to be able to keep one ring by the end of it. You're just going to get constantly shit on. And it sucks. I like praying mantises. They're a cool bug. But this enemy can fuck off. It's get ready to hear the ring losing noise throughout that whole zone. Bling, bling, bling. I don't know if I'm making it perfect. If you're annoyed by me going bling, that's that whole level. With those damn. Moving on. Moving on. Next zone is Sky Chase Zone, which is a zone they would reuse in Sonic Adventure and a few other games. Probably some of the earliest known cases of a feature of a Sonic game reusing a level. Now, with the last few Sonic games, they've been doing that rampantly. With Sonic Generations, it made sense. With Mania, it also made sense. With Forces, come on, dude, come up with something original. We're tired of this. Yes, we're nostalgic over this, but come on, please no. But anyway, Sky Chase Zone. It's pretty much the sky. Is it even really a zone? Can you just fly in any Sonic game? If you look up at the sky, is the whole sky Sky Chase Zone? I don't know. This is one. I think it's just the sky. But yeah, you're flying around, and there's actually a glitch where if you spin dash at a certain spot and kill a turtle, you get so you can get off the plane, and if you try to jump back on, Tails, the AI, think you're still on it. So if you jump up, it'll go up. So you're just fucked. Kind of a funny glitch, really. Then we have Wing Fortress. Oh, I forgot to mention, Sky Chase and Wing Fortress were 1 act zones. Just 1 act. So that jumpy part you're supposed to get to where you jump and then avoid the fire and jump on a thing, I've never been able to do that on either version. I always just use a few shortcuts. That's just, I don't call me a cheater if you want, but that's just the way I do it. But yeah, you get there, you beat him, and then you jump on his ship and go to the final zone of the game, Death Egg Zone, which is only 1 act again. But that's just because it's like the final zone, like in the first game. So when I first got into Sonic and I first played Sonic 2, I was like, huh, Metal Sonic in Sonic 2. Now I know it's a different robot, but at the time I didn't know. I didn't know any better. So that's who you fight first. You fight Silver Sonic, later renamed to Robo Sonic, but it'll always be Silver Sonic to me. So, but yeah, Silver Sonic. And you think he's pretty hard. All you got to do is just stand in one spot, spin dash, and you'll get like a good 4 to 5 hits right before he does anything. So there you go. That one's done easy. The next one's a bitch, though. Oh boy, next one's a bitch. Eggman jumps into a giant robot version of himself, which doesn't really have a real name. It's just called the Death Egg Robot. Very creative name, Eggman. But anyway, that boss is hard. Unlike every other boss, which takes 8 hits or less, this one takes 12. And you have 0 rings. I swear, for the longest time, I could never beat this boss. I would always use a cheat code to just get to the end of the game and just try to beat him. I was never able to. I beat him one time on the cartridge. And I felt so accomplished. Or was it 2 times? I don't remember. But on phone, I was able to beat him a few more times. Why is it when I'm on phone? Why is that easier than that one on there? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, so in the ending to this game, depending on if you got all the emeralds or not. Oh, I forgot to mention. If you get all the emeralds in this one, you can go supersonic. That well, I think everyone knows that, but damn it. Yeah, okay. I need to stop forgetting things. Okay, I need to stop forgetting things. Okay. So the 2 different endings you can get. Oh, the guy left. Maybe he had things to do, or was I boring him? No, we need to stop focusing on that. This is about Sonic right now. Oh, now that he's gone, I can be less nervous and less stressed out. But still, just lost another one. But anyway, moving on. I've, at least I can be less self conscious about my mistakes. So yeah, I forgot to mention Supersonic. Supersonic, I love him. Kinda. He's kind of hard to control. He's kind of hard to trying to make a precise jump on a small platform with Supersonic. You'll either miss and jump over it, or when you land on it, you slide a little and slide off. It's hard to control him. He's cool because he's super fast and indestructible, but he's nearly impossible to control good. And you can't control when you want to turn into him. As soon as you get 50 rings and jump, you just turn. So he's cool, but needs some tweaking. But when you do become him, and I'm just plowing through enemies, it's awesome. It's just trying to make those precise jumps. But yeah, so the 2 different endings. If you get all the emeralds, then Supersonic will just fly in the air. Tails will just be there in the background. Kind of seems like you didn't even need him. It's kind of pointless. Like I could have done this without you. Kind of not right. The bad ending, as some people would say, is actually better because it actually shows Tails and Sonic getting. It's like Sonic needed Tails. They're like good friends. So Tails, since Sonic can't go super, he's just gonna fall. So Tails catches him. It's a nice ending. So that's nice. Then Sonic CD. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I already forgot the 8-bit games. I'm gonna talk about Sonic CD right now. I'm just gonna talk about 3, Knuckles, and Mania. I have to do another live stream where I actually talk about this better. Okay. I'm gonna talk about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Not each of them individually. I'm gonna talk about them together. That's the way it was meant to be from the start. So, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now let's go over something real quick here. Okay, you stop worrying about that guy that left. So you stop worrying about it. Let's go over this. So Sonic 3 and Knuckles were originally intended to be one full game and just titled Sonic the Hedgehog 3. But due to time constraints, they had a limited time to do something. They had to split the game in two. But not wanting to release two separate games to make it seem like they just wanted to release them both separately to get more money, Sega came up with something kind of ingenious. It was being used for unofficial knockoff bootleg games, and this is the only instance of this being used officially. And I think it's also only the third time it's ever been done. But Sonic and Knuckles, grab my copy over here to show you. Don't mind that. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's a bit dusty. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's a funky looking cartridge, right? It doesn't look like any other normal Genesis cartridge. This is why. Yeah, look at that. You can plug Sonic 3 in there and it mixes both the games together into the full game they were meant to be, known as Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But on their own, there's Sonic 3, Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what it says on the title screen. It's weird. Sonic 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Sonic and Knuckles over there is just called Sonic and Knuckles. But together, they are Sonic 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Knuckles. Weird, right? So yeah, that's how that happened. Now, the first zone is Angel Island Zone. Pretty much the green hill of the game, except this one does something slightly different. It has a forest that catches fire. Yeah, by the second zone, there you get by halfway through the first zone, the forest just catches on fire and it becomes like a hell green hill zone. Badass. In this game, it introduces Act 1 mini bosses. Pretty cool. They take 2 less hits than a full boss, but they're a nice little addition. Oh, and since these two games were meant to be one, Sonic's sprite in 3 and Knuckles, they look the same because they were meant to be the same game. He doesn't get a new sprite for Sonic and Knuckles. So yeah, here's how this one starts. This one actually has cutscenes, which is something they think they were planning on doing in 2, but they decided not to. Or maybe that was just a rumor. I don't know. Sorry about that. So it starts out Sonic and Tails investigating the mysterious floating island which has fallen into the ocean. Sonic says, I don't want to do this. Let's get this over with. Turns super and just zooms to the island, where he gets punched by, sup, little bitches, yo, my name. Stop, I'm going to get copyrighted. Copyrighted by a fan-made song that's not official in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, he gets punched, supersonic, punched by Knuckles, and it knocks the emeralds out of him. Damn, Knuckles! He's strong as fuck. But yeah, Knuckles takes the emeralds, laughs, and runs away. I guess he runs off to go quickly put them in the special stages. Wonder how that works. He just sees a giant ring and tosses them in there like you toss in a coin. Or does he actually have to jump in there, find a spot to put it in, and place it? I just imagine something funny. You know how the special stages are in Sonic 3? You gotta collect all the blue balls and touch a red ball, it's over. I imagine Knuckles trying to put them in there, but he keeps accidentally touching the red ball and getting kicked back out, and the ring disappears when that happens. Can't do it again. So Knuckles is like, fuck! I just imagine that. Sorry, there's an annoying noise in the background. Okay, it's fixed. So yeah, he takes them, runs off. The reason why is explained later. There's no actual dialogue and shit. Not even any word bubbles. It's just Gotta see what's happening in front of you and piece it together that way. So Knuckles starts out as a bad guy, but later on becomes a good guy. But yeah, so the first zone, Emerald, it's Angel Island zone. Like I said, Green Hill zone that catches fire. Hydro City zone, the underwater level of the game, but like in Aquatic Ruin, if you know the right pathway to take, you don't even have to ever, touch the water. Oh, should I mention also that Sonic has a new thing in this game? An insta shield. You jump once, and then jump again, you get a shield. Zing. Speaking of shields, oh my god, I missed so much shit. I should have talked about so much other shit. Oh well, let's just quickly cover it now. So in the first game, we had the power ups. You got the invincibility, you got the speed shoes, you got extra life, blah blah blah, the 10 rings. Well, you also have a shield, which literally protects you from one hit. That's it. One hit shield. And that was also there in the second game. In the third game, it's completely gone, but it has 3 new replacements. You got the bubble shield, which allows you to dribble yourself like a basketball when you double hit it. And it also allows you to breathe underwater. If you get hit, you lose it, unfortunately. It's kind of obvious. Fire gets rid of it too, and so does electricity. But then we have the fire shield, which protects you from fire and gives you an air dash like you're a torpedo or a meteor, whatever you want to prefer. But it goes away in water, electricity, and if you get hit. So yeah. Next is the electric shield. Gives you a double jump, and it can magnetically pull in rings. That's pretty awesome. That was got to be my favorite shield because of that. Then I remember, oh yeah, you don't need to collect bitty rings in this game to get the stages. Oh well, at least I like to have a high ring count, and it protects you from the occasional rare, almost never seen electrical attack. It also gets damage. It goes away in water and fire, and whenever you get hit, like any other shield. But yeah, they're awesome. If you see one, don't pass it up. So yeah, another thing in this game that you can actually Tails when you play as him, you can actually fly him in this one. Also, he can swim, something Sonic can't do, unfortunately. Till Sonic Colors, but that's later on. I'll make that a whole separate stream. Well, anyway, back into it. Next is Marble Garden Zone. No, it's nothing like Marble Zone. It has its fair fast-paced moments, but there's also times when I would get lost in that stage and in that zone, and I was just like, oh, I just want to get out of here. Where's the way is the right way? Am I stuck? I got stuck a few times in there. So moving on. Carnival Night. Another infamous moment in Sonic history. The barrels. Thanks to people joking about it, like in Sonic Shorts and other shit, I already knew what to do. Thank God for that. But anyone who didn't know and this was their first time playing, you don't know how to get through those barrels. You're jumping on them, you're doing shit, you're trying to like move barrel. How do I move you? That you finally realize, stand on it and just press up and down over and over again, and you get through it. It pissed a lot of people off, but oh well. So I guess Carnival Zone has those slow moments, but fast at other times. Pretty fast. Oh, and now I need to mention the special stages. Yeah, instead of finding them through checkpoints like in 2 or getting 50 rings and getting to the end like in 1, here they're hidden in giant rings scattered throughout the level and you gotta find them. You could be playing this game for 20 years and still never find all the damn rings. That's how many there are. But yeah, some people who played it back then are still finding new rings today. That's how many there are, and that's how well they're hidden. But yeah, once you get Supersonic in this game, oh, and the emeralds in Sonic 3 are the emeralds that would become the modern emeralds in the modern world. Same color scheme and everything, and they look like diamonds. So those emeralds in Sonic 3 are the definitive emeralds. But moving on. When you get them this time, you don't just turn supersonic whenever you jump. You actually have to hit it twice. Now you can actually decide when you want to go. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can jump higher, faster. You're invincible. You can destroy everything. It's awesome. But like the first game, or not first, but like the second game, I forgot to mention this. You may be able to run faster, jump higher. You're invincible, but you can still drown and get crushed in bottomless pits. You can still die by those three things. But other than that, Supersonic's unstoppable. And he's unstoppable here, mostly. Then we have Ice Cap Zone, which has an ice look to it, but no ice physics. You're not slipping anywhere. When you get into some water, you don't get hypothermia or freeze. It's surprisingly not really much of an ice level, really. Ice Cap Zone would also later be reused in one of the future games, specifically for a snowboarding, segment. But moving on. Gnat in my face. Then we have Launch Space Zone, the final zone of Sonic 3 on its own. This one has like a few mini fake out bosses, a few of them, till you finally get to the final boss. And if you have all the emeralds by this point, you should be able to go super easy. Here's something I found fun. After you beat Eggman in his first little boss thing, you can actually steal his Egg-O-Matic. It's like, fuck you, Eggman, this is mine now. Grand Theft Hedgehog. Then Knuckles, the fucking Knuckles police stops you and punches you back. And then an earthquake sends him falling down. Man. He just fly on past. So first, Eggman comes in this one thing. I'm not quite sure what. One boss thing. You break it, and then he comes back in another boss device thing that has giant arms that picks you up and slams you down, and spikes on the top. So when he starts going low and going back and forth, you can't hit him. Unless you've mastered that insta shield, which I don't think I have. But if you have mastered it, then any boss can be easy, really. But I never really mastered it. I tried, but never really did. So after you beat that, then that's it. That's the end of Sonic 3. Now we go on to the Sonic and Knuckles half of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Starts off with Mushroom Hill Zone. Which, if they originally planned for this to be one, does that mean they had two Green Hills in mind? Or was Mushroom Hill added in after the? No, because in the level select code for Sonic 3, where they have some of the levels in there, Mushroom Hill's in there. Did they always plan for this to be kind of two games? Then again, they had Hilltop in Sonic 2, so maybe not. But Mushroom Hill Zone's not like Hilltop at all. It actually seems like another Green Hill. It's fast paced. It's a pretty good level. All right, but moving on. Mushroom Hill Zone. This is where Super Emeralds get introduced. So if you've collected all the Chaos Emeralds at this point, as soon as you jump into a secret area or another special stage, you get sent to this area where all the Chaos Emeralds get turned into Super Emeralds. I think that's what happens. I think they're the same thing, just turned into them, or maybe they're different emeralds entirely. But either way, Super Emeralds are a thing, and they're awesome. But before I get too sidetracked, they're the same special stages as the emeralds, and once you get them, you thought Supersonic was awesome. You thought Supersonic was awesome. You thought he was the coolest thing ever that was ripping off Dragon Ball. You haven't seen nothing until you've seen Hypersonic. This motherfucker doesn't just turn yellow. He turns every color of the motherfucking rainbow and more. If you want to have a seizure or feel like you're on LSD, get hypersonic and just fucking go crazy. Not only is his hair is all crazy and bigger and crazy and going everywhere. His hair is also flashing all different colors. He's super fast, faster than Super if I remember correctly, if I believe so. Jumps higher too. It has a double jump that not only acts as a double jump, but it kills every enemy on the screen when you do it. It's like a screen nuke. He's so fast. Ah! And he even allows you to breathe underwater. But you still get crushed and fall into bottomless pits. Oh well. But he was never used in any future games because too many kids got seizures. They need to bring Hypersonic back. It needs to come back. And just have a seizure warning at the beginning of the game. That'll cover your ass. But yeah, Mushroom Hill Zone. Then we have Flying Battery Zone. It's pretty much the airship level of the game, kind of like Wing Fortress in the second one. And anything else I can say about that? Other than there's this fake animal capsules. You think it's going to let go a bunch of animals? It's a spring. Bonk. Think it's going to let go some animals? It's some rings. All right, that's nice. Break it open. Enemies. Holy shit! It's all a rouge. It was all misleading. What's the next zone? What's the next zone? Okay, next zone was Sandopolis Zone. Pretty much the most hated zone out of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Hate this level, hate this level, hate this level. It has its fast moments in the first act. Second act, it has the fast things there, but you can't just immediately go for them. You gotta stop and do other shit. And then there's these other parts that are kind of slow. Uh, you gotta stop and pull switches to keep the lights on before these ghosts come and rape your shit. Oh shit, I can't say rape because then I'll get my channel taken down. Whatever, these ghosts will swoop down on you and rape your ass. They're bitches, and I don't like them. There's a lot of fast parts where you're going down sand slides. That's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Then you get to the parts where you got to keep pushing things to keep doors open. And if you miss time and they close, you got to push them open again. It's so slow and monotonous. You don't like this level. Next is Lava Reef Zone, which Act 1 and Act 2 seem like two completely different zones. But for the longest time, well, for the longest time, I would get stuck on Act 2 of Lava Reef Zone. Don't really know the trick to it. Those damn spinny things you grab onto, it spins. You let go at the right time, you launch upwards. I don't know what I'm doing differently. Sometimes I launch high enough to make it, other times I don't. I don't see what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing different. I don't see what I'm doing. I don't get how to do it. So a lot of times I get stuck there and I just get frustrated. I don't know what to do. And other times I get it first try and I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to die. I don't want to get stuck there again. Then we have Hidden Palace. That was the name of the zone removed from 2 that was later added back in the phone version. Ah. Okay, well. Yeah, Hidden Palace Zone. The Hidden Palace Zone in this one looks much different than the one removed from Sonic 2. I don't even think they're the same thing. I don't think they're the same place. I think it's 2 zones with the same name. But yeah, in this one, there's not really much to it. It's just leading up to the Knuckles fight. The first character battle in a Sonic game. And like any future character battles in Sonic games, it's laughably pathetic. Just figure out what to do, and it's easy. Spin dash into him. He learns that, so now he's squatting down and blocking and punching. Jump behind him and get him from behind. It's just learn what to do. And if you have supersonic or hypersonic, Easy. Just stand in one place and let him hurt himself on you. But yeah, after that, here's where some more story elements happen. This is where Knuckles realizes Eggman has been tricking him. Because Knuckles, if I can give some backstory on him, he's the guardian of the Master Emerald, and for the longest time thought he was the last of his kind. He's an echidna. Which, if you know about echidnas in real life, they're not. I don't think they're endangered. But yeah, he is nowhere near the last of his kind. Maybe in the Sonic world, maybe I don't know. In the classic world, that is. But anyway, his life purpose is to guard that damn Master. What gives all the other emeralds powers? All the other Chaos Emeralds, they're charged and given power by this. And Eggman wants to steal it for his own nefarious purposes. So when Knuckles sees that, he tries to stop him, but then Eggman zaps him. And that's when Knuckles realizes who the real bad guy was. So he helps Sonic after that. You can tell they're on the same side now by him looking at him and doing this, like, follow me. Yeah, sorry, bad burps. Wow, this has been going on for over an hour. All right, let me quickly get through this. Okay. So then, after you do that, you go to Sky Sanctuary Zone, which, if I remember correctly, only has one act. If I remember. No, two acts. My bad. It has two. I'm a goof. Okay, so yeah. So yeah. So Sky Sanctuary Zone. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say Sky Chase. No, no, it's not like Sky Chase, other than the fact that it takes place in the sky. It's not like Wing Fortress or Flying Battery. I don't know how to describe this. It has its fast moments, but go fast at the wrong time or go too fast, you fall to your death. It's a lot of parts like that. I can just say it's an okay level, but apparently it was popular enough to be used in Sonic Generations. Okay, it was an okay level to me. Then we have the Death Egg Zone. Arguably the first time a zone has been reused in a Sonic game, but this zone is actually one, the original Death Egg has been destroyed. This is the Death Egg Mark II. Two, this is not even this. This is not just two rooms and a hallway. No. This is two full zones and acts with their own gimmicks and shit to them, and they are awesome. There's these fast parts. There's also these weird parts where you can go upside down. It's awesome, and there's a few different fake out bosses in there. And then there's the final, or quote unquote final boss, kind of like Death Egg Act. Well, they don't even call this the final zone or anything. You just beat the boss at the end of Act Two, fade to black, fade back into you running along a giant platform in space. They don't even give a title of the level or anything, so I guess it's still Death Egg Act Two. No, fuck that. This is its own zone. This is Final Zone, Death Egg Final Zone, or Death Egg Act Three. I don't know. This is its own thing. And boy, it took me a while to beat this. It took me a while to beat this way. But I eventually did. And so that's not really the final zone, if you know. This is also the first time that we do the tradition of having to have Supersonic to unlock the true final zone. Doomsday Zone. The true final zone of the game. You have to be either super or hypersonic to get here. And you're just flying through space. This is also the first time we established that as supersonic or hypersonic, you can fly, which we'd also see in the modern games. Super forms can fly, then how come you can't do it in when you're actually controlling them in game? Well, same reason you couldn't make Tails fly in Sonic 2, because it's not programmed in there. I guess flying would be too OP, but then again, Tails gets tired. Whatever. Moving on. You're flying through space. You gotta keep collecting rings so you don't go back to normal. You just kind of keep ramming into Eggman there, or getting his own missiles to hit him, till eventually you kill him. And you gotta watch out for asteroids. They're fun to crash into and destroy, but they slow you down. So try to crash and build the least amount as you can. So after you get the Master Emerald back, that's it. That's the end of the third game. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. Now we go on. Now here's where we have a dilemma, or not, depending on which way you look at it. But there's which one is the true follow-up? Which is the true Sonic 4? I could actually make that its own video on its own. But which is the true Sonic 4? Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance. Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Episode 2. Or Sonic Mania. Now this might be a no-brainer for a lot of people. But some people would either say 4 because it's called Sonic 4, and other people say Mania because it's fucking Mania. It's more like an actual original Sonic game. It has the same physics and you know what? Screw it. This is a no-brainer. I'm going to talk about Sonic Mania next. Fuck Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Yeah, I said it. Fuck 4. My bad. Moving on. But before I talk about Mania, I need to say that there was originally 12 in the game, and only 4 of them were new. The rest of them were reused levels. But they added 2 new ones. So, should I talk about all of them, or should I just talk about the originals? I don't know. But start off with the opening cutscene. It's similar to Sonic 3. Similar, very similar. Sonic and Tails discover a reading that's different from the Chaos Emeralds in Knuckles' Island. It's not the Chaos Emeralds, it's something different. So curious, Sonic and Tails go check it out. This time Sonic doesn't go supersonic, he just jumps off the plane and starts running. That's perfect. Then we run across a bunch of egg robos. Yeah. So they pull this pink crystal out of the ground. So yeah, and then some people think that's a Chaos Emerald until Forces came out and revealed that no, that's not what it is. But it turned these random egg robots into their own characters. We got, I don't remember his name, but we got a king. We have King. We have Gunner, Shinobi, Magician, and Rider. I could have sworn there was more than 5. I thought there was like 6. Oh well. I'm reading. I just looked this up on the wiki. So apparently 2 of them are girls, Magician and Shinobi. Oh wait, what? I thought I could have sworn the ninja was a girl. I heard there was 2 girls. Oh, Rider's a girl. Okay. So Magician and Rider are girls. Okay, I thought the ninja one was a girl. Okay, I was wrong. Got told some misinformation. Sorry. Now, hang on. Where's the list of this? There we go. Alright. So, the first zone in the game is Green Hill Zone, of course. Then, Chemical Plant. And must I say this? If you already know Sonic Mania, you already know this, but again, this is for people who are new. It's not just the same zones from the games taken and put in the new ones. No, it's not just that. They're redesigned and repurposed. New things added in, and they're almost new zones entirely. They start out the same, and then they change halfway through. It's different layouts, different gimmicks. They even mix gimmicks from other zones into the zones. They just make a hodgepodge mix and match, and it's pretty cool. And also, some of the zones that have 3 acts, they somehow managed to merge Act 2 and 3 into one to fit the 2-act quota. So yeah, there's Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Studiopolis, which is the first new zone of the game, Flying Battery, Press Garden, the second new zone, Stardust Speedway, which is from Sonic CD, Hydro City Zone, which for before they added in the new ones, that was the only Sonic 3 and Knuckles zone. Or it's only Sonic 3 zone. Yeah. Then Studio Op, Mirage Saloon. My bad. The fourth new zone of the one. No, third, my bad. Shit, I keep screwing this up. What's wrong with me? Okay. Then we had Oil Ocean Zone, Lava Reef Zone, which is from Sonic and Knuckles. Then Metallic Madness, which is also from Sonic CD. And finally, Aggravent Zone, which is the final new zone in the game. And if I remember correctly, it can only be unlocked with. Oh wait, no. That's the 13th zone that can only be unlocked with Supersonic. Yeah, oh shit, I skipped over one. Oops. Then we have Titanic. Yeah, that's the new zone. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's all of them. Then we have the new ones that got added in, which they're not listed here for some reason. I missed it. I remember Angel Island got added in. I remember that. And there was another one. What was the one that got added in? Uh, it was 2 levels added in. What was the name of the other one? Ah, crap. It'll come to me later. Surely it will. It'll come to me. Well, the point is, this stream has been on for like an hour, 13 minutes. Okay. Well, the point is, at the end of the game, the true ending, that is, the Phantom Rupee sends Classic Sonic into the modern universe, setting up why he's there in Forces. That's the whole reason this game was made, to tie into Forces, to explain why Classic was there. And they ended up making a much better game to promote another game. I think it should have been the other way around, but no. So yeah, the game they made just as a promotion or tie-in ended up being better than the thing they were trying to tie it into. But yeah. So let me go over a debate here. Mania is more like a true Sonic game. It's got physics, built speed. You get faster and faster the more you run. You go downhills, you go faster and shit. You go uphills, you go slower. It's not like the physics from Sonic 4. This is just like the physics, how it worked in the first games. It works. It fits more as the true Sonic 4 here. And it even adds a new move for Sonic, the drop dash. You can spin dash midair, and then when you hit the ground, it goes. Mainly used in speed running. I don't see a lot of people using it in game. Definitely not as much as the spin dash. Excuse me. And I forgot the special stages. You got to find them the same way you do in 3. Hidden rings everywhere. And these stages I haven't been going over what the stages are. Oh my god, I left so much stuff out. I should have been more prepared for this. Maybe I'll re-talk about these in a future video and go over them in more detail. I've been forgetting things. I seem so unprofessional. I'm embarrassed by this. Should I even upload this? Ah, fuck it. No shame. No shame, no game. That's not how it goes. I'll just upload this anyway. I'll keep this going for another few minutes. Maybe 120 is when I'll stop. I'm just gonna say, back to my topic. Yes, it's more. It feels like it's the next follow up. It's actually pixelated, not 3D put into 2D. It actually feels and controls like a real Sonic game, physics and shit. Instead of just you just have a little bit of speed and you can do this, do Spider Sonic, stupid shit. It actually feels like an actual Sonic game. It's it should be Sonic 4, but it only has 4 new zones. Every other zone is reused from a past game. When every other game, when Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, I'm gonna count 3 and Knuckles as one. Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles, they all had their own zones. Sure, sometimes, or not sometimes, but Death Egg from 2 and 3 got reused, but that's name only. They're 2 completely different zones. I want to count this as 4, but it doesn't have enough original zones. Everything here is reused. Sure, they mix it up a bit by redesigning them and adding stuff from other levels in there. Like we got a little wacky workbench and chemical plant with all that bouncy shit. Boom, 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 boom. But it's they're pretty much using the same levels again. Same name and they start out the same looks to it. It's the same. If it's a true sequel, it should have all original zones, but no, this is 4 original zones plus the final one you get by unlocking Supersonic. That's 5 original zones out of 13, which they added in new ones. They added in Angel Zone and another one, Angel Island Zone. I mean, so that's 15 zones, and only 5 of them are new. The other 10 are used already. So does it? Is it really Sonic 4? The other one reused ideas like Splash Zone or Splash Hill Zone. It's just Green Hill Zone. Then we had a Casino Night knockoff and a Labyrinth Zone knockoff and shit. But yeah, it's different names and different gimmicks to them. Like the Labyrinth Zone knockoff isn't all underwater, it's more like a puzzle type deal. You gotta run on a ball. But still, the aesthetics of them look just like the levels they're being ripped off of. Sure, every Sonic game almost has a Green Hill Zone knockoff at the beginning, but every other level after that doesn't try to copy anything. Oh, well, Sonic 4 had different levels. They looked too similar to the older levels. This one has the older levels, but changes them up slightly. What's is the true Sonic 4? I'm gonna go with Mania, even though, like I said, it's not enough original. It's controls like an actual classic Sonic game. It feels like an actual classic Sonic game. It is the true Sonic 4 until another game is made that uses all original zones, in which case that one's the true Sonic 4. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 episodes 1 and 2 suck my dick. I said it. Alright, see you guys next time. Peace.